Understanding Mother Stories podcast with Adeline Dubreuil. Your 10 minutes to talk about mothering and matrescence. Hello, Mama. It is not always easy to become a mom of one. But we don't always talk enough about the passage from one child to 2 children or more. One thing I have felt, and I still feel it at times, is the loss of this one-on-one moment, mom-child, that you have the chance to have when you have one child only. Let's be realistic here. Having one adult for one child, or sometimes 2 adults for one child, can be easier than when you have 2 children for one adult or even 2 adults. When you go over 2 children, so 3, 4 or more, you become outnumbered, as in there are more children than there are adults to care for them, which can make for harder times to spend special one-on-one time with each child. Even though I have to, I feel this. And one feeling that comes with it is guilt. I personally feel guilty that I can't give my oldest the same attention than before, because there is her brother to care for as well. And I also feel guilty because I feel that I'm not giving the same opportunities for one-on-one time to my youngest in the same way that I did with my first when she was an only child. It can become a never-ending chain of guilty feelings, and some mothers might even feel some regret. If you feel this way, it doesn't mean you don't love all of your children any less. It just means that it's hard and that the change from one child to 2 children or more is challenging. Once again, when you have no village, no family who can pitch in and support you in raising your children, the pressure is higher. You go from a family of 3 to a family of 4 or 5 or more. Yes, it's hard. Yes, it is at times extremely challenging for our brain, our mental load, for the organization of the whole families and activities. And we are allowed to say out loud, it is hard and I'm not sure I'm doing this right. What I discovered is that there's no right or wrong way to do it. Remind yourself that you are doing your best and that, yes, there is some grief and loss about the before and after. Just like we have grieved our life prior to have a child, then you grieve the relationship, the time, the organization you had when you had only one child, and then you have to slowly find your groove with having 2 children. At first, when you just had your second child, and as you navigate the postpartum phase, you also have to care for a new baby who can be very different than the first child you had. But you also have to navigate the change and the grief of your first child, who often might be an older baby or a toddler. And these changes are huge for your first and oldest child. And of course, we can't ignore their feelings, even if we are going through so much during the postpartum phase. Ideally, we don't want them to become jealous and get angry at their sibling. The toddler, the oldest, can be scared of feeling replaced or not feeling like they get as much attention. And it's hard to navigate. It's hard to navigate the change for everybody. My children right now are 6 and 3 years old, and I still feel some of these at times. So can I give you solutions? One size fits all? No. But I can give you tips to manage it a little bit more gracefully and tell you that it works for us, even if it's challenging in certain seasons of our family life. And there is no perfect way to do this. But I'm just going to share some of my experience as a mom and also the experience of many other families I have watched navigate all of this as well. So, here we are. First, get your partner, or if you don't have a partner, it might be a close friend or a trusted nanny or babysitter. These other adults, you need to get them on board with how to manage how to be able to find time for one-on-one special time with your oldest child who absolutely needs this time. And the thing is that you need it too. That relationship is being altered inevitably when you welcome a new child. But it can also be maintained. It might just look different. Your child is not losing you to their younger sibling. That being said, I know it's tricky, especially if, like us, your second or third baby might be contact napping and needs you pretty much all the time the first few weeks or months. So don't aim for like crazy, perfect, full hour of one-on-one time. Just make sure to have this very special time alone with your oldest, possibly daily, even if it's just 15 minutes of your day. And use it as your child wishes. They get to choose for 15 minutes their one-on-one time with mom or with dad. It can be that they're just going to want cuddles, or they're going to want to play in a certain way, or they want to cook together. It doesn't matter what it's going to be like as long as the child chooses and it's special for them. But it will help you both feeling connected to each other like the good old days. My second tip is, of course, to involve your oldest in the care of their sibling so they can help with their younger sibling or siblings. Of course, depending on their age and abilities, it might go from bringing you a diaper that they get to choose for their sibling to feeding them under supervision. And this can also happen later on when baby's getting older. There's always a way to include the oldest in the care of the youngest. Any way that the older child can help and feel involved will feed a sense of belonging and self-esteem instead of feeling left out. My third tip, and that's not the easiest, so it might be just for like a once in a while opportunity, it is to have special dates outside of the home, alone with your oldest, but also eventually alone with your youngest. So they both get to have these times with either parent. It can be with you, it can be with the co-parent, with any other adult that is raising them. It's important to have special dates, a special outing on something they like to do. Of course, something very special that they want to do might seem more meaningful than just going to the store. But if this is all you have, then even going to the store alone with any of them becomes special, because that's not the daily life. Even mundane tasks can be special when we connect and we are just trying to be and do things together. So as you see, the pattern of these 3 tips is connection. That's where the secret is. Not easy when you're a mom with no village, but these tips can always work as your children grow older. It's not just for when you get a new baby. It's about navigating having multiple children. Also, as they grow, we learn how to step back. The stepping back of the parents to let the children have their own connection and develop their relationship. It's important to let go of, because down the road, we want them to have each other. And while all siblings can't be best friends for the rest of their lives, some of them will. So we need to be able to give them this opportunity to be together. I see my children who are homeschooled together. They have this incredible bond and also these moments of annoyance towards each other. But they need to go through this. They need to develop this. There are moments when we should interfere if anyone's physical or mental safety and respect is at stake, of course. But otherwise, we need to create space for them to build their relationship. And yes, sometimes they need our support, especially the first few years of emotional immaturity. It is important that they develop also friendships outside of home. So for most children, it will happen through school. In the case of my children who are homeschooled, they have friendships from our Montessori times with other children or their extracurricular activities. It's important they develop these friendships outside of home as well. But like I reminded my oldest the other day, some friendships might come and go, but your siblings are supposed to be for life. So trying to foster a love and respect for each other might be hard, but it's a really good parenting goal. None of this is easy, especially when children are very young. But when they grow older and become self-aware, it remains very important to foster. And never forget that we are their guides for life, not their manager for life. So it's a mix of being involved and connected and also give some space for their own relationship to happen. Now, all of this will look different from one family to another. And when you have little to no help to help you navigate the situation, it's way trickier. My husband and I discuss how to handle this on a regular basis, so we're on the same page, because there's no grandparent or other people to really support us in all of this. So we have to find our own tricks to make these connections with both of our children, so they can also feel special. I also want to tell you that, of course, if you are depleted and cannot even connect with yourself, this will be a lot harder and emotionally draining. So finding your own groove through all of this is also important. And yes, it's tricky. If you feel like you need emotional support and you need some coaching for this, I'm happy to get you on an Oh Mama free call to see how I can further support your goals into being the mom you want to be. I have been there and I'm still there, mothering, making mothering choices every single day, caring for myself through all of it at the same time. Certain times I struggle, like everyone, and I bounce back and I find a new groove for myself and my children. Please connect with me through Instagram or come and get your free call on ohmama.ca. Until next time, Mama. Hey Mama, would you like to have some more clarity on the kind of mother you want to be, or you need help to get where you want to be? Then go to ohmama.ca and grab my free journaling challenge. I will help you every single day get where you want to be.